if you're not already. Are you recording it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're going to get started now. All right, welcome everyone to the awesome Infopreneur Agency webinar with Joe Nicassio. He is an absolute genius and author of the book Resurrecting America's Entrepreneurial Spirit. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. And he is a huge business coach. He consults all kinds of businesses and entrepreneurs and speakers and authors to help them really find some hidden treasures in their business, things that they can do, little tweaks they can make to totally transform the results and get some real big results in their business very quickly. So what Joe's going to be talking about today is really going to help you make more money in your business. And the reason you're here today is because you want to learn how to convey your value in your marketplace. Maybe people are not paying you enough, they don't value you enough, or they don't even understand what you do, and it's complicated to explain it, and you got to go through this constant struggle to try to convince people that you're going to that you're the right person to hire, right? So what Joe's going to talk about is going to help you really figure out what is that thing that's going to make you, stand out and make people want to work with you in the next hour. And then he's going to cover as much as he can in the hour. But at the end, you're going to be able to ask any question you want, and we're going to personalize, his consulting to you to help you with your specific business and what you're working on. All right. So with that said, if you ever have any questions at all, just type them in the chat box, and I'm going to be monitoring it, okay? And as Joe is presenting, he's going to ask you to interact, put some stuff in the chat box to, interact and engage and let us know what are you working on and stuff like that. And there's going to be some exercises and some things you want to do, so make sure you take lots of notes, have your notebook and your pens ready. All right? So at the end, again, we'll answer all your questions. Just type them up as they come, and we're going to get started now, all right? So, Joe, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, cool. So before we get too deep into this, I just want to do a technology check. Can everybody see me and hear me okay? I can throw a headset on if that helps you hear me better, but I just want to type in the chat box if you can see me and hear me okay.
I can hear you, just so you know.
Anybody else can see? And can you see my screen? That's an important thing too. Can you see the slides that say how to convey your value to the marketplace? Are we getting any response on that, Omar?
Yes, actually, people are not able to see your screen. I'm not able to see it either.
You're not. Okay.
Yeah, we're not. So I'm just going to start talking. I'm going to answer with my voice.
Okay.
And Armand, yes, it is being recorded. If it is available, if everything goes well, the recording will be made available to you since you registered. And it's also going to be posted in our members area. In case you don't know what the members area is, it's iavip.smartmember.com. We have all the recordings there.
All right. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it. Can you guys see it? See his slides? Good. Everyone's saying yes.
Okay. Well, let's roll with
away.
this. Okay. So, yeah, today I want, this is a really important topic: how to, convey your value to the marketplace. The unspoken secrets to getting people to value your services. And so, a lot of times we offer amazing things, and yet the other side just doesn't understand and appreciate it enough to actually buy from us. And so, like, this is really important. So let's just kind of go ahead and roll with this. And see, there we go. So just a quick, I provide business people solutions to get unstuck by applying proven principles to their unique situation. So if you're feeling stuck in your business, I'm the guy. And so, look, today what I really hope for you to get, we're going to go for about an hour. And, I want you to be really interactive. If you have questions, type them in. Omar, if they have a good question, I want you to interrupt me if there's a great question that is really relevant. Otherwise, we'll save questions till the end. But I really want you to participate. I also want you to stick around at the end. I'll show you how you can get a copy of my slides if that's of value to you. And there's not going to be a sales pitch today. This is going to be just pure value. The only thing at the end is if you want to get a hold of me and schedule an appointment with me to talk a little bit about your specific situation, we're going to give you a calendar link so that you can schedule that time with me. But I am not selling you anything today. So you can be rest assured that today is just going to be helpful to you. And at the end, I'll show you how you can get more, but I'm not selling anything today. So, I don't want to spend too much time on me. I've made a bunch of money. I have made over $1 million. I lost everything, and I've come back. And, I've made the money I made through hard work and knowing my stuff, but that wasn't enough to prevent me from losing money because I was I thought I knew more than I did, and I didn't. And after you've had the money, you don't want to lose it again. So I went on this obsessive compulsive quest for the truth of what really worked. And along the way, I ended up getting mentored by some really brilliant people in the marketing and the business world. And over the years, they say it takes 10,000 hours to be an expert. I actually racked up my hours, and it's over 25,000. And I've served close to 1,000 clients at this point in 175 different industries. So I paid some dues. I wrote the book, as Omar said, Resurrecting America's Entrepreneurial Spirit. Available free on my website. If you want to know how to get that, Omar can type in a link to my website. I've been mentored by, Jay Abraham, marketing genius, the $10 billion man. It's actually probably more than that. He's helped people make so much money and create businesses that really work. By the way, it's not just money that we go into business for, but it's to have more impact and more freedom. And I love that I have a huge impact on my clients. This is really a side note. I'm not just all business. I actually train in karate. I trained with Mr. Oshima. He's the first man that brought karate to America. So trivial fact, but that's something I do, and it's actually shaped me into a better person. So, just the big picture of, starting a business and making a business really work. Number one is you got to plan and choose the right business for you. Number two is you got to create a brand so that when people have a problem or a situation, they look at you as the solution. And then we need to package you attractively. If we take you in a brown paper bag versus you in a powder blue Tiffany box, one will be perceived as more valuable. Now, obviously, we're not going to put you in powder blue Tiffany boxes, but the way you package yourself in marketing is with your offer and your storytelling. And then you need to promote and get the word out so you get the right message to the right people in the right ear at the right time through the right media so you can start generating leads and interest so that, after somebody actually has an appointment with you, you can have a conversation to see if and how this is good for them. My definition of closing is helping people make decisions that are wise for them. If it's not wise for them, I don't want their business. If I can't help you, I don't want your money. And then finally, you need to perform, deliver the goodies. This is really what a business looks like. And so there's, in broad brushstrokes, we need to create the business and the value proposition and the offer so we can convey that to the marketplace and people understand our value so we can collect. So today, we're really focusing on that convey arrow with broad brushstrokes. I'm going to share as much as I can in the time we have. I mean, there's only an hour here today, so we're going to go as much as we can. I will stick around for questions and answers. I want to make sure everybody's questions are answered to the best of my ability. And, we'll take it from there. So here's a question. I'd like you to respond in the chat box. Does it seem like people don't take you or your work seriously? Or they don't even understand the value of what you offer? I want you to write some comments in the chat box. I'm going to pause here, so we're not going to continue until we get some good comments. So, Omar, keep me posted on what's getting written in the chat box.
Okay, will do. Yeah, so you guys, just a simple, yes or no question. Does it, do you feel like people don't really value you or they don't take your work seriously? Just put a Y for yes or N for no. We want to hear from you. And also, if they don't understand your value, maybe you want to explain, that, just say yes or no, or if there's anything you want to say, go ahead.
We'll get more into what value is in a minute, but Just
So let me just
at this
share that.
point, do you think people, I know we have amazing people on the line. I believe children are born as geniuses and then conditioned into mediocrity. And I believe that everybody has talents and skills and abilities, and you can make somebody's life better. But, even though you can do those things and you do those things, do people fully understand and comprehend how amazing you are?
Hmm.
Because here's actually the other side of that. I think is if people really did understand how much you cared and how amazing you are and your amazing talents and skills, of course people would buy from you more often.
Gotcha.
Any
And just so
comment?
you know, Joe, we have a lot of people saying stuff, so pretty much the answers are yes. And
Okay.
let me just say, so Joanna with her travel, and Armand hasn't even started yet. Started what he wants, or, what Armand wants to do, or he wants to give out to the world. Coaching and sales are what he is thinking about.
Cool.
So
Well, let's keep moving
hasn't even
forward.
started. Yeah.
So this is a common problem. I do amazing work too, and there is a process to get people to understand it. So I looked up value in the dictionary. The regard something is held to deserve the importance, the worth, or the usefulness of something. Your support is of great, usefulness, advantage, benefit, gain, profit, good, help, merit. Okay, so there's some dictionary definitions, but I kind of came up with my own. And value is the measure of value is how much you give, or share, or serve, or contribute to another person. And value is actually what we change for money. So people give us money because they think their life is going to be better off when they spend money with us. But here's the deal: perceived value is always determined by the buyer. The best way to create perceived value for the buyer is to deliver real value. Okay, so a lot of people out there selling crap in a box. Don't be one of those. Um, but here's the deal: I know that you probably offer like tremendous value, but just because you deliver huge value does not guarantee that the buyer will perceive your value. I want to check in with you. Does this resonate with some of you? Yes or no? Just type it in the box. I just want to know if you're in the right room here and I'm the right guy giving you the right message at this time.
Everyone's saying yes. You guys, yep, everyone's
So,
saying yep.
can you see my video right here with my hands? Can you see me on video?
Yes.
So the measure of wealth is not how much you have in terms of the money, but how much you give. When you give a lot, you can receive a lot. The reason people give us money is because we're giving them something back. And so it's a two-way street. A lot of people are saying, I want to make more money, I want to make more money, but it's like, what are you giving in order to exchange for that money? And this is what value is. It's this trade. I'm showing up giving a lot of value, therefore that's why you pay me a lot of money. Um, so let's get into the why. Why is it so important to nail this part of your marketing? If you don't really get this right, number one is your customers may be confused and unclear about like what your value is. Sometimes when I work with business owners, they do offer tremendous value, but they're confused and unclear about how to communicate their value. So this can be a problem. If you don't get this right, you may be doing amazing work, but you might feel like the invisible man or the invisible woman. I can't tell. Is that a man or a woman? I don't know. But you may feel like the invisible man or the invisible woman. If you get this wrong, if you don't convey your value, you might be chasing people, and at the same time, instead of attracting them, you're repelling them. And if people don't see your value, you're just not going to make that much money. And that just is not a happy situation. It leads to frustration. It's like, why am I working so hard and not getting much reward? So we want to turn this around, and hopefully you'll get some ideas on this call to get some ideas of how to do this. If you do this right, when you convey your value, it's almost like a Vulcan mind meld. It's like you speak into their listening. It's like they're like, wow, somebody finally came along that understands who I am and what I'm about, and they communicate it very well to me. if you get this right and people understand your value, you can work your magic and get paid for it and do, your life work of something that's truly meaningful, and really have a cool impact on other people. And if you get this right, you're not the brown paper bag person, but you're the Tiffany person. They see your value, they appreciate their value, and if they want that value, they'll pay for that value. And if you get this right, if you generate your value really well, you'll generate a lot of leads and a lot of interest. Now this next slide, I can't guarantee it, but if you really nail this and get it right, you actually create a buying frenzy. People see, wow, you are so darn, we see this with Apple. They introduced the new iPhone, and there's a feeding frenzy. There's people that want the latest, greatest. And there's nothing I would love more than for you, the people that are here on this webinar, to get your value across so clearly that there's a big line around the block for people that want to buy from you. And ultimately, if you nail this right, you're doing good work. You're not just making money, but you're providing a tremendous amount of impact and doing meaningful work, and you have a lot of freedom, and you wake up every day with rainbow-colored wings. Well, not exactly, but it feels pretty darn good when you're doing that. So what's your reason that you want to convey your value? Let's go through some of these slides. Is it because you want to get more clear on your messaging? Is it you want to be more visible? You want to be more attractive? You just want to make more money? You want to be a success and not a loser? You want to connect better with people? You want to perform, have more impact with your magic? You want to be high priced and high valued? You want to generate more leads? What's the primary one for you? Type it in the chat box. And Omar, is there some stuff coming in on this?
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. I'm sure people are typing them in right now. So yeah, just let us know. This is for our just feedback, so we can customize this for you. What are you most interested in? Are you want to make some more money, or you want people to take you seriously? What is it? Just go ahead and type it in the chat box. And I wrote all of the above. I couldn't decide just one personally. Yeah, I mean, I'm all about all of them. But let's hear from you guys in the audience. If you have to choose one, what's the primary reason? Joanna, the question is, what is the reason why you want to convey your value to the marketplace?
Yeah,
so basically, why are you on this webinar?
Which of these things is the one you want to work on the most? Because I'm gonna adjust my presentation based on what you guys tell me is the most important to you. Is it about clarity of your message? Is it about being more visible? Is it about being more attractive?
Yeah, so William says money.
Okay.
Joanna says to be clear about my value and being more visible.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right, this is good.
And
so let's keep moving on.
Okay.
So, I got some really cool key concepts I'm going to share. I'm going to go off my slides quite a bit and use my iPad to do a little bit of drawings for you. But here's a really important key concept. People, here's the thing. I know that there are awesome people on this call. Omar's on this call. I'm on this call. Joanna's on this call. William's on this call. I don't even know, but I know that there's some awesome people on this call. And a lot of people, when they want to make more money, they go and work on their own awesomeness to become better. And, there's a joke. There's a group called Mensa, and Mensa is an organization for geniuses. And there's a big joke inside Mensa. If we're so smart, why are we so broke? And so you've got these amazing, awesome people that don't know how to communicate in a way, because people don't pay for your awesomeness. They pay for their self-interest. They pay for improved conditions. Think about it. I went out and got some really nice food last night. You know why I did it? Because I thought life would be better if I had that really nice food. My friend Michael Levine says that we can learn almost everything about a human being by two documents. Number one is your calendar, and the other is your checkbook register. If I look at your calendar, I'm going to know what's important of what you spend your time on. And if I look at your checkbook register, I'm going to see what you spend your money on. And so if you look at your own money, can you see the common thread is every single thing we spend money on, it we perceive this will make my life better. I say that most of us spend too much time on the wrong side of the cash register. We know how to spend money, but in order to receive money, we need to really understand that we aren't just selling something, we're not just selling a product or service, but we're selling some kind of transformation. You know, here's a really cool concept. Your business is like a phone booth. It's kind of bizarre. Your business is like a phone booth, and what happens is your customers walk in as Clark Kent and they walk out as Superman. And what people pay for is the transformation. So what's your transformation? How do you make people better as a result? This is huge. A lot of times people hire me specifically to help them improve their business. And the thing is I can't let them bully me around and tell me what to do. My job as a marketing consultant or as a business consultant is to not look at their business through their eyes, but look at their business from the customer's eyes, the marketplace's eyes. Because every single person, before they buy from you, they're crossing their arms saying, why are you bothering me? They're also saying, so what? They're also saying, why should I believe you? And they're also saying, why should I act now? Or why should I act ever? Because until and unless you can answer those questions and look at your business from their point of view, that yeah, I am talking about to you, and it is important, and so what? This is super relevant. And how does this affect you? This affects you in profound ways that'll change your life. And why should you take action? Because the cost of inaction is much greater than the cost of action. By the way, feel free to type comments or questions all along the way here. And Omar, if there's something really good, point it out to me. Now, I'm not going to get too much into math, but you know, I saw this. Alan Weiss wrote a book called called Value-Based Fees: How to Get Paid What You're Worth, and this is called the Good Deal Equation. So, you know, what are the tangible outcomes that you help your clients get? And then what's the duration of those outcomes? Now, I know like Joanna, she sells travel. Well, the outcome, the tangible outcome is you actually jump on an airplane and you go someplace great and you have experiences. And you may say, well, you know, the duration is a week or 2 weeks, but the truth is there's also the memories, and those last a lifetime. And that actually ties into the intangible outcomes, the emotional impact. How does that recharge your batteries, make you feel refreshed and energized to travel? You know, how does that help you grow as a human being? And also, you know, what new doors open, the peripheral benefits as a result. And new doors open. And you divide that by the cost of what you charge, and that's a good deal for the client. You know, I can use my own business as an example. I coach people to create a business that works and to increase their income. And it's very often that my clients will receive an increase in income of $1 or $2 or $3 or $4,000 or more dollars per month. But let's just use the $1,000 number. You know, say you make an extra $1,000 a month because I help you. Well, guess what? It doesn't just happen for 1 month and then the benefit stops. Once you learn how to do this stuff, you'll use it year after year. And so $1,000 a month times 12 months is $12,000 over a 10-year period of time. That's $120,000 in income with only a bump of $1,000 a month in income. What does that do intangibly? Like, how do you feel more emotionally when you got extra money coming in? How do you feel when more doors are opened up? So, you know, it's entirely possible that somebody might get $300,000 or $400,000 of value for my coaching. And right now I'm only charging $3,000, and it's going to be going up to $5,000 pretty soon, just because I know I make a huge impact on people. And part of a good deal is it's got to be a good deal for the client, but it's also got to be a good deal for you. When you give a lot, you deserve to get compensated well. So I hope this is helpful for you. Is this helpful for you guys?
Yeah, it was very, very helpful for me. Everyone's saying yes as well. I would also would love to see this in your visuals if you want to draw it out, because it kind of went over my head, to be honest. Like math usually does that to me. But I know what you're communicating is definitely extremely valuable, because I also know that a lot of people in our group are coaches. How many of you are coaches? How many of you like consulting or coaching of some sort? You have some kind of, one-on-one program. You have, I know like as a coach, it's pretty hard to, pretty difficult to get that barrier, of like convincing people that you are the right person to work with and to hire as a coach or a consultant. It takes a lot of effort, usually, if you don't have this, right. And then also the pricing of that as well, knowing how much to charge.
Can you see my iPad screen?
Yeah, we can see it now. So, I mean, let me check in with you guys. Let me just check real quick before we go into this. How many of you would actually are with me as well? Like, you would like to see this drawn out? If not, we can just go ahead. I just want to check in with you guys. How many of you would like to see this equation drawn out with an example from Joe? Just put yes. Okay, so yeah, people are saying yes. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so by the way, some people sell things that have a monetary effect, but some people sell things that you like maybe improve their happiness, and it's like, how do you charge? How do you measure that? So one of the ways is to look at something like, let's see here. Oh, no wonder it helps if I draw. I can't draw with the eraser tool. So, if things continue on the path you're on, like for the client, there's basically something called the four futures. Like what's the best case scenario? What's a okay, good, better scenario? If things stay the same, if things get worse, or if they get a lot worse. And so if we're selling something that's non-monetary, we want to paint a picture of what it would like if we could help them improve their conditions. So let me go back to so for the example, if I help somebody make an extra $1,000 a month, and by the way, I guarantee results in my program that you're going to make double what you paid me. I don't guarantee you're going to make a certain number. I just guarantee I can improve things, and I help you double what you paid me. And I just do that because I want people to know they got a good investment, but I also want them to know I stand for what I do. And by the way, a lot of people say, well, I can't guarantee results. I would really look at that and say, but if I could guarantee results, what could I guarantee? But if I help somebody make $1,000 a month, it's not just $1,000 per month, it's times 12 months. So that's like $12,000 a year. But they're going to have these skills in whether they do their current business that I'm helping them create, or they do it in other businesses. The things I tell them can help them and over a long period of time. So if we take that times 10 years, that's like $120,000. But when you got a business that works, what happens is new opportunities, new doors open for you, joint venture opportunities open up for you, and so other business will come in besides this $1,000 a month, and that might be worth another $120,000. So here's the bottom line: I charged $3K. Even if I charged $5K, can you see that the ability to charge $5K to make a potential $240,000 or even just the $120,000? This is a super good investment. What I'm saying is what we do is valuable, and we need to paint a picture of what that looks like. So what I want to do now is...
Hey, Joe, can I just real quick comment on something? I just
Yes.
gotta say this. So I read this about this in your book. I also heard about it from other consultants as well. What you're showing us is basically what you would show a client, uh, right? You would show them, how much money they can make with your program. If you're coaching to help them make more money, if that's the result, what I think, Joe, what you're trying to say is, for you, no matter what the result is, you want to draw it out for your clients so they see and actually have them, verify, like have them declare what the results are that they would be able to get if they hired you. And they see, if they
Exactly.
hire you, they make X amount of money, then it's a good investment. Or if they hire you, they save X amount of money or lose X amount of weight, etc. You know, you want to, draw it out in front of them so they see that.
Yeah, another thing that's super powerful is a lot of people, you know, they look at the cost of buying from you and they get scared of the numbers. What's the cost of buying from you? Oh, $3,000, just in my case. Okay, what's the cost of buying from you? Okay, but here's a great question. What's the cost of, not buying from you? So in my case, I sell something called employee escape plan. A lot of people have jobs. They make they make a living. They got an income from that job, but they don't like their job and it's destroying them on the inside. What's the cost of staying on that soul-sucking job? Or in the case of what Joanna does, I know that Joanna helps people take travel, great travel experiences. Well, it might cost one or two or three or $4,000 for a great travel experience, but what's the cost of not having that great travel experiencing and not leaving your town and not, just continuing to go on the same way you're currently going? So this is one of the ways, so what it costs to not buy from me might be as much as $200,000 a year or $200,000, but it's also like it costs you your happiness to stay on a job you don't like. It costs you maybe the impact that you're building somebody else's business and you're not really making that contribution to other people that you would like to make. So this is huge. We can go into this deeper, but I do want to move on. One of the next slides is about how does the $1 million coach make $1 million? And so I'm going to spell that out. You guys want to hear about how the $1 million coach makes a million? Okay, or the $1 million consultant?
Yes.
Number one is you got to have two ethical people. Look, business only works if the people that you're dealing with are ethical. And so you want to filter out anybody that you perceive as unethical really early. You don't want to waste your time. The second thing that makes the $1 million consultant $1 million is the perceived value of the buyer. It's not what you say you want. It's like they have to see that it's worth it. By the way, this is huge. This is another slide that I didn't even make on this, but people don't buy from a, why do people buy a Mercedes? Do they buy the Mercedes because they say the Mercedes is worth it? No. People buy a Mercedes and they say, I'm worth it. Okay? And so, again, people don't buy your awesomeness. They don't buy the awesomeness of the Mercedes. They say, I'm worth it. That's why I'm going to buy this car. They're doing it for themselves. They're not doing it because it's a safer car or German engineering. We might hear them say those things, but ultimately the person that buys the Mercedes says, I'm worth it. Why would somebody buy my coaching? Because somebody says, I'm worth it. Why would somebody buy Joanna's travel? Because somebody says, Joanna. See, they're not saying Joanna's worth it. They're saying, I'm worth it to take this kind of a trip for myself. So how does the $1 million coach make if I help you make an extra $2 million of profit that I do all the work and, will you split half of that with me 50-50? Or if I bring you an extra 10 million, will you share 1 million? Jay Abraham the way says, if I bring you an extra dollar of profit, will you share a quarter with me? There's different ways of doing that, but if I put an extra you know, 2 million in your pocket and I do all the work, will you split it with me 50-50?
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
In a second.
yeah. And so they need to perceive the value. Now, here's the deal. If I say, hey, Omar, if I help you put an extra 2 million in your pocket, you know, and I'll do all the work, but you don't perceive that I'm really making that much contribution, you may not perceive the value. See, a lot of times people say, well, I was going to do that on my own, so I don't need you. Okay, fine. The key is the buyer needs to perceive the value. Now, the third piece, this is the one that most people don't want to deal with, but the biggest limiting factor of why you're not getting paid those $1 million fees is you have your self-esteem. Your self-esteem, if your self-esteem says, I'm going to charge $500 an hour, and I do something for you, and I do it in 10 hours, well, I made $5,000. I made 5,000, you made 10 million, you win, I lose. So if I know that I'm going to bring some big bucks to my client, I need to have the self-esteem and the self-respect to say, I'm worth it. I'm worth getting paid this. And by the way, just in negotiating, you need to have the willingness to walk away. If you're going to bring a lot of value to somebody, they don't want to pay for you. They don't have the ethics to take care of you. So it's probably not a good fit. And then the fourth one is we don't get paid what we're worth or our value. We get paid what we negotiate. All right. Does this make sense? Got any comments coming in? Is this useful?
Yeah, everyone's
Anybody
saying
ever
yes.
explain
Well,
this
so
to you
far
like this?
people are saying yes,
Cool,
and
cool.
we have some questions as well, but I think we should answer that at the end. So yeah, whenever you guys have questions, just type them in. They're great questions, so looking forward to
Well, I want to hear a question. Give me a good question, Omar.
Okay, all right. Valerie's asking, how do you paint the picture of clarity or being unstuck? And we were referring to, when you want to have your client or your prospect, perceive your value, and you want to have them, perceive that they're stuck and they want to get unstuck.
That's a great question.
And
And a lot of us, I think a lot of us have a challenge in this area. Like, I know I do amazing work for my clients, right? But like, so you have a prospect over here, and you have a client over here. Okay, and we need to bridge that gap so that they move from prospect to client. Now, here's what I know is when somebody becomes a client with me, it's like time to roll up our sleeves. It's time to get to work. It's time to make some transformation happen. I know that once they get over here, like, miracles happen. Like, really. But until they see it, they're not going to budge. I think that's what you're talking about, being stuck, right, Valerie? So there's a technique, and I learned it in through neuro-linguistic programming, and it's called a double time distortion. This is super cool stuff. So before I explain the double time distortion, there's a principle, and the principle is anything another person imagines as their own thought will not be resisted. Like if it's your idea, you're not going to resist your own idea. Now, if I have my idea and I'm trying to impose it on you as the salesperson, you might resist it. So anything that the prospect imagines, so if they can imagine a better world, a better life because they hired you, then it's going to be their own decision because they saw it in their own imagination. And so here's the technique. Double time. Imagine a time in the future that you bought from Valerie. Imagine a time in the future that you're better off. And I don't know your benefits, Valerie. So I mean, we would, I could do this with mine. Imagine a time in the future where you got your own business, you got income coming in, you've got leads coming in, you got customers, and you're not on a job anymore. You got your own business, you got your own customers, your own cash registers ringing in, and it feels pretty darn nice. Okay, so that's the first time distortion, where you imagine in the future. Okay, so that you put them in this place in their imagination, and like, what does that look like, feel like, sound like? You want to involve all the senses. And you look back to today as the day you made that decision. Imagine you did get the promise. Imagine that you did start a business and you had your own customers and you were making your own money. And it's, when I was working at Eastman Kodak, I was making $14 an hour, even though the company charged about almost $400 an hour for me for my time, plus another almost $400 for me to walk through the door. So they would charge, $800, and they would pay me $14. Well, that wasn't very attractive. Imagine a time in the future, though, instead of making $14 an hour and making the boss rich, imagine a time in the future where you get to keep the lion's share of the money. Okay, so you need to put them in that place and then have them go back through their memory that the reason that you got here was you made a decision today. How cool is that?
That's very cool.
Was that helpful, Valerie?
Yeah, Valerie asked a follow-up question. Do you want me to ask, Joe? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So how do we show the value to the prospect of gaining clarity? So I mean, my answer, I mean, I think, Joe, I'll let you answer, but I have something, if you want me to share it first, or I can follow you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's like something that came to me is what I think, Valerie, you need to get clear on the benefits of what you're offering. So if you don't know the benefits of gaining clarity, and also the problems of not having clarity, then you won't even be able to share that. We won't even be able to use the exercise. But if you know it really well, what are the benefits? Make some list of benefits, and use all the senses, as Joe explained. The different senses, seeing, etc. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Have that ready, and you can, walk them through this process. This is one example, what Joe shared. That's one way of doing it. You just have them go into the future. What will happen, what would it be like if you had clarity, which gives you benefit 1, benefit 2, benefit 3, feeling 1, feeling 2, feeling 3, etc., right?
Well, this actually rolls into the next slide here,
Okay,
which I don't know if you can see this or not, which is demonstrating empathy is valuable. When you can articulate a person's problem better than they can, they automatically unconsciously credit you with knowing the solution. So is it possible to unmute Valerie and put her on the line?
Yeah, sure. You want me to do that right now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Valerie. Hope you're not in a loud area. I'm going to unmute you, okay? All right, Valerie, you are good. You can talk.
I'm good. So are you getting feedback, or everything's cool?
It's good right now.
All right, cool.
So Valerie, let's do this thing. Can you see my iPad screen here?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me the top 3 things that people that are not your customers yet, they want to move away from. What are their 3 frustrations? The common ones.
All right, thinking of it as not customers, it might be easier to think back to the people that I've worked with and some benefits that they've gotten from getting clarity, I think. I don't know, is that, or am I going the wrong direction?
There's the benefit of what they got after they worked with you.
Okay.
So give me three of those.
Okay.
Like what?
So being, one is, one actually has improved income. Another one is, let's see, how do you say this? They knew what to do, but they weren't doing it. And so now they're making progress in an area that they have wanted to make, like a habit, a progress that they wanted to make.
Better habits.
Yeah, and it's implementation, yeah, because like they knew what to do, but they just weren't doing it. So it's kind of like a mindset shift that they had.
Right.
Let's see. The other one, the one with the income, is actually they were someone that was stuck, and they had.
Well, let's deal with the same person.
Okay, well that's two different people there, so.
Okay. And so before they had they were struggling with the income.
Yeah, they had a limiting a belief about their income. They thought they could only get it one way, and we explored another idea, and now they've got a part-time job, so now they're making some money doing that. They also couldn't they couldn't dream. They couldn't have goals. I have like a worksheet just to kind of do a brain dump for goals and stuff, and that they were struggling just doing that. So once we were able to do that, now their confidence, they're more confident. I can see confidence in them. Just their tone of voice and how they stand.
Okay. So we've actually just written some, let me tell you about one of my past prospects. One of my past clients. They came to me, they were struggling with income. They had limiting beliefs around money, and they had ineffective habits. And what was really sad is if this continued, that they were just living in a space where they didn't have the ability to dream. So after I worked with them, their income improved, their habits improved, they have a better mindset, and ultimately they're walking through the world with more confidence now. So this is what I did for them, and I could do that for you as well.
Okay. So I'm trying to understand your little chart here.
Yeah, so the top left is what are they moving away from in the now? We technically call those frustrations.
Okay.
What is it in the future, their imagined future, if things continue this certain way? Those are the fears. Okay? This top right quadrant is what do they want in the future to move towards. Okay, so those are their wants. And the bottom right is their aspirations or dream. So what we're using, so this logical chart helps us actually come up with the emotional hot buttons to speak into their listening. Because now if we look at the quote here, when you can articulate a person's problem better than they can, they automatically unconsciously credit you with knowing the solution. When I can demonstrate I get you and I get your problems better than you get your problems, then they're going to come to this conclusion, wow, they get me she gets me so well, she's got the solutions. So this is called speaking into their listening.
Yeah, familiar with that.
Okay, so
I like the chart. I said I like this chart. I just need to understand it a little bit better.
I use this all the time. It's one of my power tools here.
Your power tools.
All right. So did that answer your question?
Yeah, it's helpful. It'll move me in the right direction, I think. Just doing that.
What was most valuable about what you just learned?
About so now, okay, the frustration strength and moving away from this into that. I think being able to take people that I've worked with and put the things down here that they've done or that I've accomplished with them. So yeah, I think because they're different, I struggle with painting that picture that you were talking about. Like I get it from the dollars perspective, the way that you did it, but it's not always a dollars thing with my clients, and so painting it in such a way that
Yeah, let me give you one more piece here to answer that a little bit better.
understandable to
Okay.
the masses.
See,
But
the fast track to six figures or a million,
mhm.
okay, it's called the 5 ones. So the 5 ones look something
Hey, Joe.
like, yes.
We don't see your iPad, just so you know.
Let me make sure that that is enabled. Can you see it now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So, you want to, one of the things that I get from you, Valerie, possibly is that you, like when this person comes to you with this problem, you solve their problem. When a different person comes to you with a different problem, you solve that problem. So all those different people, you sell to them different because you're kind of a generalist. But if you really get one avatar, like this is the kind of people I work with. Like I work with people that, they want to start their own business and they just don't know how. Or they want to get strong business fundamentals and they just don't know how. I work with that kind of person. If you're making $100 million a year, you're not my customer in terms of my marketing. The second thing is to have one solution. One solution. Now, like I work with people that have all kinds of different businesses, but I sell one thing called Employee Escape Plan Coaching. It's really business coaching, but I sell one thing. It's a package of 12 sessions with a guarantee, blah, blah, blah. But I just sell one package. So I don't have to create a different proposal for everybody. They just go to my website. It's completely defined. And then what you have is one lead generation method to get people in the door. And then you need one conversion process. And you stick to that for 1 year so you don't have bright, shiny object syndrome. So instead of each person that comes to you, you have to communicate a different problem. What you do is take a stand and say, this is my specialty, this is the area I work, this is the value I provide. So I work with these kind of people who have these kind of problems, and I offer this kind of promise or this kind of solution. Okay? And when you really nail down one thing, then you can put that in your marketing materials, everybody. But if you treat everybody like onesie twosie, then every single person you come across, you're going to have to explain it different, and that becomes more of a challenge and time consuming. Is that helpful?
Yeah. Yes and no. For somebody who likes variety, one is kind of, but I hear what you're saying.
Now, I like variety too.
Mhm.
And guess what? I get it because every single customer is different. The variety is not what I'm selling, but it's the solutions that I offer them.
Yeah.
So
All right. Yeah,
everybody's unique, but I sell one thing. I sell one, it's a coaching package, and then we work on your stuff once you get inside.
yeah. So yeah, I think.
But my coaching package is built around my strengths, just as I think your coaching package or should whatever you're offering should be around your strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So that like, here's who I am, here's what I got, here's what it will do for you, here's what you should do next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So that's going to be my recommendation to you is figure out how you can organize your material in such a way that you're selling one thing and you're really clear about the one thing you're offering. All right. Was that helpful?
Yeah, actually it is. It confirms something that, an idea, something that I've been thinking about, or actually it's something I'd started earlier and then, yeah, probably got sidetracked with other things. So I need to go back to that thing and finish out that funnel and get that one funnel working. And it is related to something that with the different people, even though they're different types of clients, yeah, there's probably one thing they've gotten or a couple of things they've gotten that are similar that everybody would want.
What I'd like to do is encourage you, if you need some more help with this, to schedule an appointment with me. But go ahead and mute the line again. We'll get continuing moving through this. Thanks for participating, Valerie.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie. All right, so just so you know, we have 5 minutes to the top of the hour, and I just want to give this opportunity for you to Joe to just share what is like the biggest thing you wanted to share, because I know you had a lot of slides. If there's
I got
anything,
so much to share, and
right.
what we can do is, I know some people have to leave, and I think we can go another 10 minutes. If those people have to leave, they leave. But Omar, why don't you put the link in so people can schedule a time with me? There's no charge to this, and it will be valuable for you. Let me buy you an hour of my time, and let's set up a connection call if that's something you want to do. Can you go ahead and put that link in there for everybody, Omar?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now.
So this next slide here is storytelling creates more value than advertising. So, I could do an advertisement about how amazing I am as a business coach, but, I use storytelling, and storytelling, it's different than advertising because it's, Jesus taught in parables. If it's good enough for him, why can't I learn from him and do the same thing? So let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, a man walked onto a construction site, and there were 3 men working. He asked the first man, "What are you doing?" He says, "Oh, I'm laying bricks." He asked the second man, "What are you doing?" He says, "Oh, I'm building a wall." He asked the third man, "What are you doing?" And the man stood up, he looked to the sky, he lit up with a big giant smile and says, "I'm building a cathedral." So in your business, if you're tired of laying bricks and you're tired of building walls and you want to build that multi-million-dollar cathedral, I'm Joe Nicassio, and I can help you. However, you can only build a cathedral to the extent that you have a strong foundation. And that's why I put together my coaching program, which is called the Employee Escape Plan Coaching Program. And it's designed to give you strong fundamentals, because what I've learned is success is inevitable when you master the fundamentals. And if you've got a strong foundation of strong fundamentals and you get those working, then you can scale and build whatever size cathedral or monument you want. So that's called storytelling. It's not an advertisement. It's I'm telling you, I'm putting a context around what I'm doing and making it more palatable. So your assignment on this one is to simply find out, how can I tell my story in a more fun and interesting way? And by the way, fun is valuable. Matter of fact, the #1 piece of advice that Jay Abraham gave me is, Joe, you need to have more fun. You're a little too serious. And so I've taken that to heart, and I try and just really engineer a lot of fun into what I do. All right, I know we're pressing the hour here. Is there any good questions? If you have questions at this point, I want to receive them. I want to make sure that all the questions are answered before we go.
Okay. Yeah, there are a few questions. If you don't mind, Joe, do you want me to, can I just share the gift that everyone here gets real quick?
Oh, yeah.
In case people need to leave. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. If I can. Actually, I think you need you to stop sharing your screen, I think.
It's possible.
Yeah, there are some questions. So you guys are all getting a gift, and I love to give away awesome stuff to help you with your business and make your life easier. So just give me a moment.
Stop the screen share.
Okay. It's saying it's waiting for you to. Oh, actually, never mind. I got to do this. Hold on. Don't worry about it. I got this. Okay. You guys see my screen?
Yes.
Let me know. All right. So this is Z panel, you guys. You cannot get it. It's off the market, and we haven't even sold it yet. But basically, this is a way for you to collect tickets, to manage projects, and create invoices, have your products and all kinds of stuff, manage your team. So it's a whole business management, project management platform, and we use it for our clients whenever they want to ask a question. VIP clients, they go here, and let me show you what it looks like when you're not logged in, just so you could see. all of this is completely customizable. The colors, you put your own logo there, and let me just show you. You can change the image on the login screen once it loads.
The way that Omar was explaining this to me is, if you want to like have a great way to handle your customer service questions, complaints, issues, whatever, you can use this software as a method of customer support. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's great. You see, this is the image as well as everything here is editable. You can change the image and the the graphics. It's just really great because if you want people to really take you seriously, don't send them a PayPal invoice. Send them an invoice with your logo on it. Make it look awesome, and have a professional, have a secure. As you can see, there's a secure website that you own that people can go to ask their questions, and it's more of a private kind of way. We call this concierge service. So it's a way of adding more value to your business and more perceived value. It all comes down to how it's perceived, right? So anyway, you're all going to get a copy of this. You get your own subdomain here, and it's secure, like I said. Just send me a private message on Facebook. I'm going to put the link in here for you to do that. If you want to claim this gift, I'm going to give you a code word to send. All right, and just send a message, and I'll set you up with a free account. And this is valued at $500, you guys, just so you know. But we haven't even sold it. We haven't even marketed it yet, so it's completely off the market. So anyway,
that is really cool.
Yeah, congratulations, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and let you. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now.
Yeah, and why don't we get some of those questions that might be lingering?
Yes. So give me a second here. All right. One question I'm just gonna ask that I came up with, or actually, let me see. Hold on. All right. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna ask a question here. The questions that were in the chat box here. You guys put any more questions you have. Go ahead and do that. They were more of like related to Valerie's thing, but it's not really relevant at this point. So just if you have questions, you guys, about your situation, about how you can help yourself get more clients and
more valuable.
communicate more value. Yeah, exactly. Let us know. So I have a question here. So what if your competitors charge less and offer more, and it's like the same kind of product or program? Like how do you make yourself a better option in their eyes?
Yeah, so this gets into the idea of unique selling proposition, USP, and how are you unique and special and different from other people. So the whole world wants us to be a commodity. A sack of beans is a sack of beans is a sack of beans, and we do not want to be a commodity. We want to be a proprietary. We want to be unique and special and different, so that, see, the thing is if they look at you and they look at the competition, it's like it's an apples to apples comparison, and we don't want that. So what you want to be is a proprietary.
And Joe, you're not sharing your screen.
Oh, no wonder. Oh, there we go. Is that showing up now? Oh, let's try it this way. So you don't want to be, so let's just take that example. A sack of beans, 100-pound sack of beans might cost, $25, okay, for 100 pounds. Okay. Now, if it's just beans, if somebody else has beans for $24 for 100 pounds, that's a better deal. But what we want to do is not play the same game. We're not just selling beans. So you could be like Buckeye Beans, and they take that 100 pounds and they divide it into little 8-ounce packages with seasonings and cute stories. And they sell these for like like, $8 to $9 per package. Well, all of a sudden that becomes about $1,600 if you divide it up this way. So they put it up in little packages. They got a little seasoning package with it, and they tell little cute stories about dancing around the kitchen with your glass of wine and making, great stuff. Or you could do the Wolfgang Puck. You could take that 100 pounds of beans and give it to a master chef like Wolfgang Puck, where he does his champagne and caviar beans extravaganza dinner, which is now like $100, per plate. And so the key is to differentiate yourself. There's, Jay Abraham used to always say, differentiate or die. If you just play the same and you're the same as everyone else. So what you want to do is how are we unique? How are we special? How are we different? And there's a real easy way to do this. Let me give you like an example. There's this idea that bonuses outpull discounts. And actually, like university research said, buy 200% consistently. So if you had a case of water and a case of water, and you had them side by side, and you said, okay, if you buy this case of water today, it's $10. Or if you buy, it's normally $10, but if you buy today, you have a 10% discount. Okay, so it's $9 today. Okay, well, guess what? All water by side, they look the same. But these guys, they have a thing. If you buy the water, it's $10, but you get a bonus, styrofoam cooler. So the research said that if this is called A and this is called B, all things being equal, 200% more people will buy this. Why? Because it's not just water, it's water plus. And all the other water no longer compares. It doesn't have the foam cooler. And so even though this one's $1 more, twice as many people will buy it because they see value in the bonus. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, awesome.
Cool. All right, we still have people on the line. We are getting it's 1:08. But I haven't seen anybody schedule on the consultation. I want to encourage you to click the link and schedule a time with me. Let's have a conversation, because you know what? I love helping people thrive in their businesses. I love helping people take their business to the next level, and I hate seeing people struggle because they don't have the knowledge and expertise that I have. And that's why I created my coaching program, to really make that difference in people's lives. So, this is a chance for you to get on the phone with me. Let's have a free conversation, and maybe I can help you, maybe I can't. Let's use that phone call as a way to determine if or how I can help you. And I guarantee, whether you buy from me or not, I guarantee you'll be better off at the end of our conversation. So I just want to encourage you to schedule some time with me. And is there any other questions, Omar?
Yes, there is. How do you price your products or services? How do you decide on a price tag?
Is this from somebody in the crowd?
No, this is for me.
Okay, so it really depends on what you're offering. But what most people use is called the swag method, which is the systematic wild ass guess. And I think it's just people are not systematic about it. But one of the things you want to look at in your pricing is like, what's it cost them not to have my service or product in their life? What's the impact of not having my magic? And that may actually be really expensive. But so if it's costing somebody, it's costing somebody $50,000 a year in frustration. There's this idea of 10x. If they can pay you $5,000 to eliminate a $50,000 frustration, that's probably a good deal. So you want to look at what's the impact, the 10x impact.
Very cool. Okay. All right. Very great stuff, Joe. And I'm going to give you guys one more opportunity to just ask any question you want in the chat box, if you have any. And
I'm
again,
here to help.
schedule a call with Joe. Is it going to be a 30-minute call, Joe? How long is the
It'll
conversation?
book them in for 30 minutes, but it'll block off an hour in my calendar. So if we need to go longer, up to an
Awesome.
hour, that's fine.
Yeah, and that is very generous of you, Joe. I really appreciate that. All of you also watching the webinar, you guys are invited to schedule a call with Joe, unless it's no longer available. I mean, I don't know. It could change. But as of right now, for the foreseen future, you can schedule a call, okay? So
I am very busy. I've got I go in to a real estate and mortgage office every week and train them, and I've got other clients. So I'm pretty busy right now. So
right.
this is a good time to catch me while I'm here. And like I said, I do charge for my services, but my whole attitude, here's a value proposition. I don't want your money if I can't help you. I don't want your money if I can't help you. It's really about making a difference in your life. And if I see that I can make a difference in your life, I'll say so. And if I see that I can't make a difference in your life, I'll say so also. Because I only want to work with people that I can truly make a difference in. And if I can't do that for you, you're not my client. And that's cool.
Awesome. Yes, and I also agree. I encourage all of you to just adapt what you just heard right now. That was huge. If you can, include that in your pitch and your presentation, and when you're talking to people, make them understand that you really don't care if they buy from you or not, and it's all about helping them. It's not about you, it's about them, right? So, and Armand is asking about the slides. Joe, are you gonna let us?
Just send an email to rapidresults@gmail.com, and just in the subject line write the word slides, and I'll make sure you get a copy of that.
All right, sounds good.
And
All right,
I didn't have a
guys.
chance to cover all the slides, so there's some stuff in there that you haven't seen.
All right, yeah. So
Cool,
with
cool.
that said, I guess we're gonna wrap it up now, you guys. Thanks again, everyone, for being here. Joe, do you have any final words before we wrap it up?
Yeah, you have magic inside of you. You have a contribution to make to the world. And, when you look in your heart of like how much you care, and you can let other people know that, when people know how much you care, and they know how much you can make a difference in their life, and they know how much effort you come to developing yourself to this point, when they understand your magic and what you bring to the table, of course they'll buy from you and they'll pay your fees. So I just want you all to keep working at it and prosper. And if I can help you create a better path, I just want to make myself available. I would love to help you. So God bless you and have a great day.
Well said. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day.